welcome. Let me try that again. Sound like Beetlejuice. Hello and welcome to a brand new 5 Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, X. I'm your host, Greg Mahachko. This is my friend and co-host, and one time she was one of you at Chatterfield, and how she has risen through the ranks, ascending
goals, people.
Ascending the ladder. Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Greg. How are you?
I'm excited because Aaron Keene says the rowdiest, most fun night of the week on Corn Nation. Let's freaking go.
Freaking go. I like that.
I'm not gonna say that one, Jason. Just know I'm not. But Aaron again, Greg speaking in tongues, not so much. Melissa is here. Hello, Melissa. Matthew K101 is here. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
It's a little early to be starting the chant. Highlander Gun commenting on Aaron's photo says the picture looks like his ex-mother-in-law. Yeah, Aaron, I know Halloween season is upon us, but we're not to October yet.
So fun.
So
he's a lot of fun. He just has fun with his images.
He does. We're so glad you're here, Aaron.
Unlike Matthew K, who doesn't even have an image.
Who?
Matthew K 101.
That's fine. Don't shit on Matthew. He's new.
Okay, you're right.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, is in the house and can put you in a house of your dreams in the Omaha area. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Living in Omaha, David Matney.
Greg.
What?
Have you watched any of his videos yet?
Stop asking that question. I can feel bad.
They are so good. They're so good. I'm not looking to move to Omaha, and I'm not looking to buy a house right now, but I still watch them because they're so good.
Here's the thing. I spend very little time on YouTube. Most of the time that I spend on YouTube is here on Thursday nights. I spent quite a bit of time with the Corn Nation folks Monday Night Therapy and Husker Happy Hour. And last night, about 9:15, I'm just going to come out and say it. I was feeling lonely, and I almost thought about just starting an impromptu, stream just to see who, see what straight. Nah, that's going to sound worse. That's going to sound so bad. See who I could catch paying attention with the notification to just come and hang out. I ended up not doing that, but I missed you filthy animals. So, and you, Minnie, I'm not associating you with them. You're a whole different animal. So,
well, did you end up going to the Yingling?
Oh, sorry.
Would you stop it?
We're clicking the same comment at the same time.
Factory?
I didn't make it to the Yingling Factory. That is in that's in the great state of Pennsylvania. But I do have Yingling tonight.
Thank you, TSD.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says Greg has plenty on. So, brother, you ain't kidding. And Pit Snipe Husker says I binged Peacemaker last night and cried because I missed Greg too. Man, that gets me. That you know what? That's a birthday buddy right there. So Pit Snipe, this one's for you. I'm gonna drink it. Just know that I'm drinking it for both of us. Yes, ma'am. How can I be of assistance?
This is my birthday show.
When's your birthday? You didn't ever actually tell us a day.
I didn't. Because you guys are going to be like, well, how old are you? Yada, yada.
Can I share a story? I learned at a very young age. Little Greg was in, let's see. Gonna do math, carry the one. I was in 3rd grade. And I was on a field trip with my 3rd grade class. We went to the Magic House, which is a great place for kids in the St. Louis area. A lot of fun, a lot of great memories. I've taken my boys there. We all have a lot of fun. But my mom was chaperoning on this field trip. and we're on the bus, and it just happened to fall on my mom's birthday. Hey, Tony, happy birthday to you. And so I said, because I'm 8 and I didn't know any better, I but I shouted to the bus, to everybody on the bus, hey, everybody, today's my mom's insert age here birthday, to sing happy birthday.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, and so I've learned not to ask that question. And our chatter, you forget that Cornhusker fans are very smart. And we're not just smart about football. We're smart about life. And we all value ours. And that's why we would never ask your age, Minnie.
Good.
So, but
I will tell you, I happen to be...
is your birthday?
Well, it's not my birthday yet, but between
we're running
now
out of September,
and the next time
right?
I see you guys, the next time I see you guys, I will have had a birthday. And I will be the same age as Scott Frost and Matt Rule. And if I'm not mistaken, Fred Sacco. I think we are all of a certain vintage.
Interesting. Well, everybody's bringing in the...
Minnie's older than your milk, but younger than your socks. And younger than your chair, probably.
This chair that I'm sitting on?
Yeah.
I don't know. This chair's older than me. It needs to be replaced.
Melissa.
I don't know if that's a guess or...
I know she's not. She's just playing.
She would never. By the way, I'm going to highlight this one. This is a terrific conversation piece for people in the know. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says it is mentally draining to do consistently a live stream each week. Standalone videos can be edited. Let me tell you, it would be more mentally draining for me to try to edit a video. That's why I love the live show that we have. We get the interaction, which is, second to none. Yeah, there's a reason I highlighted and shouted out Aaron's comment. This is a raucous, rowdy, and tremendous community that we have built here. I know I'm going to get sappy and sentimental, and I'm sorry, but this fan family that has rallied around this show over the last year or so, I honest to God, I wouldn't trade it anything in the world. Here's the thing. For me personally, the problem is when we hit, end stream or stop record, whatever it is, then I would have to end stream, easy, it's done. Stop record, then I have to go and edit stuff. And what happens usually is I fall asleep in my chair with my laptop in my lap, and I wake up 4 a.m. So editing is for nerds. TSD, brother, you ain't wrong. So give me the live show. I have said off air to Minnie, and probably on air as well, like, this is such it's a couple of my favorite hours of the week each week. It's a tremendous distraction. It's going to sound bad, but I thank you, Highlander. Yes, not wrong. I do have a show called Nerds United. But I shut my brain off. TSD's on fire tonight. I just get to come and hang out and visit with you amazing people. So I thank all of you, whether you're, again, one of the chatter fields, if you're really engaged in the conversation on YouTube or Facebook, and we don't see too much from X, but please, we encourage you, wherever you're finding us, just engage in the show. I try to highlight more of the Facebook and X comments because I don't think the YouTube people can see them. So however you interact with the show, we just know that we a tremendous heartfelt appreciation, 5 heartfelt for all of you. So that's it for me, being sappy and sentimental until later in the show. Minnie, we have a big show tonight.
Until about 5 minutes from now?
I might. If I take the glasses off, I'm not being rude and I'm not cleaning the lenses, but I might have shed a tear. So.
Aw, that's so cute. Okay. Real quick, this made me laugh. Could you stop doing that?
It's accidental timing.
All right.
Aaron Key says, I only chat with Greg on X during a game. Okay, I'm sorry. Pit Snipe Husker says, Matney convinced me to move to Omaha, then convinced me not to in consecutive videos. I'm so confused, I'll just stay put. And our favorite realtor living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, laughs. By the way, David, I just... This could be you right here. And if you want, I'll send you the 5 Heart logo. And you can put that, you can emblazon that. You can be like, I'm living in Omaha, Dave May, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. And people will be very confused. But we can, just a symbiotic relationship here. Right. Come on.
Here's what we're going to do.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to take David Matney's picture from his YouTube profile. We'll print it out and we'll tape it on your koozie.
You can do better than
that. Well, I'm just saying that might help kind of get the process going because you've been asking for almost a year.
But my beers are still cold, so it's all that matters at the end of the day.
That's all that matters.
Highlander Gun says we need a Coronation live watch along for the game. So I didn't know that you could stream and have a watch along. I mean, I shared the link with you, I think, from the Buffton Prime, for the Colorado game and their stream. I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we do that and skirt the rules, but if we can find a way to do it, I'd be game. So, although you'd have my children, the chaos behind me. So
that would be interesting.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna highlight it, but I'm not gonna read it. I just want you to read it.
Oh, welcome, Fred.
Good to have the whole family here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mr. Matney, the Buffton Prime YouTube channel did have they had the telecast, they had the broadcast on, and they had their picture in picture. So I don't know, above my pay grade. We'll have to talk to John about it and see.
Yeah. Okay, Greg. 13 minutes in. Shall we start?
We shall.
Okay. Has anyone seen John's video that just came out like a couple hours ago?
I've not. I know about the subject material, but I've not watched it. I know he said he had a burr under his saddle and he was going to do the video, but I have not seen the video.
Well, ever since, I guess the news broke yesterday morning, UNLV's quarterback took his redshirt year and he's entering the transfer portal because he has not gotten paid the NIL that he supposedly was owed.
Right. Yeah. Matt, is his name Matt Sluka?
Yes.
So first of all, UNLV's 3-0. They're off to a great start. He was a transfer quarterback from Holy Cross. And again, it's what side do you want to believe? I tend to, this is not me being like, big corporation or institution, but all he said is that there was a verbal agreement to $100,000 NIL deal.
Okay.
A verbal agreement does not a contract make.
Correct. And as John put it, you can't just shake a hand,
right.
Shake hands anymore. You need it in writing. But here's the problem this is probably not the first time or the last time that this is going to happen this year, because remember, they had the NIL collectives totally removed, so to speak, from the universities. And anybody could start an NIL collective. Well, those athletes ended up signing whatever with those NIL collectives, and now they made it okay for it to be part of the university.
Right.
So there's that crossover that, I mean, that's confusing, right? And what
Yes.
if I've always wondered this with, we're lucky in Nebraska that we have the 1890 because that's the only one that we had, the 1890 initiative. There's universities that have like 5, 10, whoever, wants to can start a NIL collective. And, at TCU, for instance, I know one of the businesses ended up just like closing the doors. So those athletes didn't get paid anything.
Right. A lot of comments in about this situation. Living in Omaha, David Manny, the official realtor of the 5 Hard podcast, says this NIL needs some sort of reining in, and we touch on that again here in a moment. Highlander Gunn says a lot of those who transfer don't do as well as they think they will. Fred, we talked about this. UNLV 3-0. Sluka had 6 whole touchdowns, 48% completion rate. Sounds like his family wanted to get more money after that rousing start. Yeah, 48% completion rate's not great. He is more of a running quarterback than a more pure passing quarterback. Sounds like he might just be an athlete, but he said thank you. Put a nice big thank you X post or Instagram post or whatever to UNLV Nation, whatever that means. And yeah, he's withdrawn from he's taken himself essentially off the team, and he's going to go look for greener pastures. But my issue with that is, what school would want to put up with that?
I know. It doesn't show good form.
Mr. Keene says, regardless, the situation is exposing bad actors, as John said, but also gaps and shortcomings in the whole thing. And Vince Watson, great to see you as well, Vince. NIL going to get worse before it gets better.
Right. The thing about NIL, don't do that to me, is that
What? Am I not allowed to say NIL?
Created this. No, we don't do that.
I thought we did. I'm sorry.
John, okay, we can call it NIL. It's created this thing kind of like a big gray area between the amateur athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the professional athlete. And it's getting closer over here to the professional athlete because, everybody wants to look at it as, okay, you're getting paid to play.
Right.
But that's what it's always been anyways. I mean.
Yeah, it's so 2 things. One, Aaron Keene is now a YouTube member. Thank you, Aaron. Now make sure that you turn on notifications so that you know when we're dropping new. So John and I had a quick sidebar, and I apologize. John and I had a brief conversation Monday. He was asking when I was dropping Haas and my overreaction show, and I think it's going to go live to the public on at 6. I was going to wait till 3 or 4 to make it available to the members, unless you think I should go earlier. He said it's 10 o'clock or whatever. He said do it. So yeah, if you're a member, you get a lot of this stuff before the general public. So thank you, Aaron, for signing up. And then I have to hit this one because I'm gonna emphasize certain elements of it. Fred says, granted, super live Matty Sluka could be a Husker quarterback with those numbers. This is BS. He can have a nice thank you to the team, but he does. It's not a good look for him. Who will take that on? I don't think any. Again, maybe a FCS team. Maybe, but he's not going to get paid at an FCS school like he would even in a group of 5. So, talk about.
Well, somebody has to stand up and say, you know what, this isn't right, because it happens all over college football. Somebody has to start it. Reggie Bush, at the same time this week, Reggie Bush is now going to sue USC, right?
USC. The Pac-10 or 12, depending on, and the NCAA for lost nil money, etc. from his time, which was almost 20 years ago. So
all of this reminds me of the Jerry Maguire movie.
Right. That's, you know what? I haven't watched that movie in over. Yes,
Greg.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're the king of impersonations. Go ahead.
I'm not shouting. I have sleeping family above me.
Well, you can whisper shout like I do.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Go Big Red. No. Hold on. Where's my phone? The phone's off, obviously not on, but he's like, show me the money.
Show me the money.
He says other things that I probably shouldn't say live on YouTube. But yeah, show me the money.
This is a great movie.
It's you know, Rod Tidwell. Come on now. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Pit Snipe Husker says while it's just Sluka in the headlines, this looks bad for him, but as more and more kids exert their leverage, it won't look as bad. It'll just be business. What?
I don't know how to highlight this, but look at what's going on over there in chat. Look at who else just became a member.
I thought he was.
Oh my gosh.
What is going on?
Welcome. What?
You know what we need?
What is this? Wait. There's a gift too?
Oh, Mr. Raji. This is a sincere question because I don't know how it works. Does that go to someone random, or do you get to select?
Nope. It goes to the next person who basically has you have to have your settings on YouTube set for you to be able to receive gifts.
Gotcha. Raji was a member. He just had to activate. And Aaron says it's random. What's that?
There's activate.
There's like a cheer or something about that, isn't there? From a movie or something?
I don't know. I was thinking of Ice Ice Baby.
That's not collaborate and listen. Brand new event, something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn up the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage, watch me jump like a candle.
Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
I knew we would get it out of you. Look what else just happened while you're rapping.
Oh!
What the?
This is a mini birthday miracle.
This is.
You know what?
Thank you.
Andrew Curtis says, Ice Ice Baby. Ice Ice Baby, way to make me feel old. Like, Andrew, we don't know you. Like, we don't know your age. I'm 42. Minnie has disclosed her age. Nobody asked her to do that. She didn't have to do that. But
I didn't disclose it.
You said what?
Hints.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs. By the way, big freaking breadcrumbs. But anyway, if you know Ice Ice Baby, then this is the community for you. Like, we are your people.
We are.
Dustin says, thanks for the gift, Fred. So.
Wow.
So I with all these members, joining, from Fred's generosity and Justin and Aaron and so I'm rocking. We're jumping ahead. I apologize. I'm so sorry. A little bit into the world of housekeeping. Cobbycorn.com for merch. Your sweet shirts just like this, but we almost need like a secure your bag shirt.
I take issue with this, Greg.
I know, because I'm so sorry.
No, I'll tell you why. Because I asked you, okay, David Matney, okay, I've taken everyone's requests and I've eliminated things out of the format. I no longer have an introduction or an ending. Okay.
She's about to cry. I feel bad. Her voice is cracking.
But I asked Greg, should I remove housekeeping? He said, no, I like it in there. Please keep it in. So I keep it in.
Just
and
for
then
me to
he
ignore
goes
it.
and puts it wherever he wants.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes I think of it this way. The format is more of a guideline than a rule. So if there is a natural moment in the show for me to, pimp the merch, copycorn.com, I feel like it's...
Angela, thank you.
See?
See?
Yeah, y'all are great.
People care.
Oh,
People care.
Andrew, great question. Andrew says, what's housekeeping? The housekeeping is a segment of the show where we break apart from all of our regular actual conversation, which I know if you just got here, like there's been actual conversation. and we make sure that we keep the sponsors happy. Like I said, we don't really have sponsors, but you can get sweet Secure Your Balls or RTFB or Man-Killing Mastodons or any Cobby gear at cobbycorn.com. And I need to talk to John. We need to do another sale. We'll work on that for next week. But at the same time, it's a great moment for us to break away and just remind people, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure that you ring that bell for notifications, just like Minnie's about to point to the bell now, so you know right where it is. Minnie, where's the bell?
Is it here?
It's there. So do all that. Keep up to date on everything, not just Five Heart, but everything Coronation. Like I said, Monday Night Therapy, John's instant reactions, Coronation overreaction, Husker Happy Hour with Andy Ketterson, everything else that's going to be coming down in the channel, whether it's live or recorded and edited and made in good fun. Check all that out. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that John has written 3 books, including this one. It's the only picture we have. Shame on us. Been Dead, Never Been to Europe, My Recovery from the Widowmaker Heart Attack, and the brain injury that came with it. Yes, Minnie?
We should have taken a picture of John with the book with us.
Yeah.
Then it would all be tied together.
You and Diamond Dave, the Diamond Stud, left and weren't even in the group, the Coronation group photo. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Andrew, to answer your question, that is housekeeping. And Andrew subscribed. I think I saw Minnie in another Cornhusker chat, and it made me want to check out the channel. I'm glad I did. I just want you to know, despite all the effort that she puts into this show, she's going to hate me for this. It's still my fucking show.
It's still his show.
No, I'm kidding. It's our show. It's a collaborative. But I did start this show with Brian Toll back in 2016, late 2015, something like that. So,
Greg, are we at the 400th show yet?
No, we're not.
Okay.
We are close. I think this is great question. Keep talking. I'll find that answer. We're very close, honestly.
I think actually we might be there.
I assure you we're not. Next week, this coming Monday, by the way, is the 100th episode of Monday Night Therapy. This is the 398th episode of the 5 Heart Podcast.
Okay.
And the first one was September 2nd, 2016. So.
Oh, we got to work on this, Greg. We need to. MK wants to know if we'll have a drone show when we hit 400.
I don't have a drone.
I mean, we got to figure it out, dude.
I don't have a drone.
I've got one drone.
Yeah, but we all know that it's occupied to look over certain residential areas of Lincoln, Nebraska. Dustin says, "Come for Minnie's beautiful brown eyes. Stay for the jokes at Greg's expense." Brother, that is this show. If nobody has ever summed up this newest iteration of Vince, be with you. Nobody has ever summed up this iteration of the show better than that. Jokes at Greg's expense and everybody looking at Minnie.
And the blinking boob light.
Yes.
It's very titillating.
And a couple weeks ago you said poised, and I'm beside myself.
We're going off the rails. Okay. Next, Greg.
Yes, let us talk about the number two ranked women's volleyball team in all the land. Your University of Nebraska Huskers.
That's really good.
Sounds
really good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, since we last spoke, Husker volleyball took on, let me say this right, Louisville.
Nope.
Is that right?
Nope.
Okay, you say it.
Louisville.
Louisville?
Louisville. Lulvul. Louisville.
Louisville.
Hey, Katie, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Don't know where your other half is. Notice I didn't say better half. I just said other half. So,
Louisville. That's easier. Louisville. Well, anyways, guess what, Greg? These girls are on fire. Another sweep.
It is 2 top 10, if not top 5 sweeps. I think it's 2 top 5 sweeps within a week.
Yeah. And tomorrow they get to play UCLA at home. Game sold out, but you can catch it on the Big Ten Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. And did you happen to watch the Harper Murray video with Coach Cook?
I did not.
Gosh. She is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I kid you not. I love babies and puppies. She's like the next best thing. She is so cute, and they are so cute together.
Her and Coach.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so he got a black eye. Like, he's doing this press conference, and everyone's like, what the heck? Didn't have a real explanation. And so she's sitting there, I don't know, maybe they're at lunch or something, and she's like, does this video. Hey, Coach, let's tell everybody how you got your black eye. I know, I did forget.
Thank you, Melissa. that just shows. So it's babies, puppies, Harper Murray, then Dylan.
Yes, probably. What if, now I know Harper was dating Heinrich Harburg for a while, but
is that not still? I thought that was still a thing.
Oh, is it?
I thought so. I mean, I am not.
Well, they would make
of all the movers and shakers.
That's all I know. They'd make beautiful baby Huskers, wouldn't they?
They would make some exceptionally athletic children, but I really don't know if. How do I phrase this?
Yes,
I don't know if
he's not starting. She ditched him.
No, Melissa says they're still together. So,
okay, thank you.
I just don't know if we want to put such expectations on them. It's a lot of expectation to be like, you're going to Harper and Heinrich, you're going to birth the future of Nebraska football or volleyball, depending. Let's just slow down a little bit. They're college kids, for God's sakes.
No. I got to break this down for you. Okay. When you have those kind of genes, do not, I repeat, do not marry somebody short. do not cohabitate with somebody short, because chances are you're not going to, the DNA is not going to get passed on. We
Okay.
want those athletes, little Husker babies.
God, we are. But again, let's not put that kind of pressure or expectation on what are, I believe, like 20 and 21 or 22-year-old kids. They're kids.
Okay. They are kids. But
Andrew says they dated. How do you all know these things? I don't know.
Because
Andrew, the only answer that I have, it's mildly snarky, and I do apologize because this is the first time I've seen you here in the comments, and I don't want to run you off, but the internet. The internet is the only answer that I have to that question.
That's true. That's how we learn. And we stalk these poor kids.
I don't know what this we stuff is. I don't stalk. I stock. I used to stock. I used to stock shelves at a grocery store when I worked there in high school and college. Stocking shelves is different.
Okay, Greg. Yeah, you are so just innocent.
Hold on. I don't know if I'd go that far. I have my demons. Okay, moving on.
What are they?
I'm not saying in this public forum. You out of your fucking mind.
Okay.
Jeez. Trying to get my ass killed.
Okay. Well, should we then move on? Well,
are we
after UCLA, they are gonna the girls are gonna play USC, which is ranked number 20 right now. And that's at home, and it's also sold out. And that's Sunday at 6:30
it's also
p.m.
I was gonna say it's also on Big Ten Network, is it not?
You got that right.
So I don't even I want to talk, I don't know how much there is to say about that. If Beth were here, Miley were here, they could go into very specific granular detail about these things. I caught the end of the I don't think I didn't catch any of the Louisville match, but I did catch the end of Stanford last week. And so the Louisville match was huge because I believe it was the first regular season college volleyball match that was televised on ABC, and it did gangbuster numbers. Like, I think they peaked at over 800,000 sets, homes, whatever it is, which is huge. College volleyball as a sport, I don't want to say as a market, but as a it's on the rise. It is only growing. And I'm not giving Nebraska all of the credit, but you go back to Volleyball Day in Nebraska last year, you're talking about grabbing national and international headlines for what was, no offense, a glorified exhibition. But now you have high schools coast to coast, high schools in my area that are hosting high school volleyball matches. Like, they're putting the temporary floor out on the football field so they can replicate that environment. It's wild. And I know Beth said when she was on the show, I believe with you and John last week, that volleyball is an indoor sport unless it's sand, and it's better to have the controlled elements and atmosphere and things like that. But what Nebraska has done in the last 14 months, being a part of it from Volleyball Day Nebraska all the way through the national championship game, and they lost, and that sucks, but they continue to churn out success. Somebody said in the comments earlier, and I apologize because I saw it. I didn't star it, but they have been on a tear since that SMU loss. So I'm so proud of these.
You're right,
these players.
It is so cool to see. I love our volleyball team. They're awesome. I mean, but I also love watching, they also have a chasing three kind of series. And they also have like a little, like, casual, like, YouTube chat with the volleyball players amongst they, like, curl up with a blanket and sit there and just chat. It's really cute. I just love them.
Yeah, no, and
Anyway.
in what Nebraska is doing, and again, because I don't care about other schools, I don't care about other programs, football programs, things like that. So I don't know if the chasing three is unique to Nebraska. I feel like it is. I don't know if even Alabama is doing like a weekly documentary about the football team and sustaining it through winter workouts and spring ball and summer camp and, fall and the season. I mean, I don't think like we're biased. I'm fully going to say it, obviously, because we're doing a Husker show right now, but they're, some of the stuff, I mean, it's hard knocks. It's preparing these athletes, whether it's football or volleyball in what they do. And I anticipate the basketball, men's and women's basketball start doing something similar, but it is preparing them for what they'll encounter at the next level. Whether a lot of these guys maybe go onto a team that does the HBO Hard Knocks or, I mean, every streaming service is coming out with its own version now. You look at Netflix, they had quarterbacks and then they had receivers. I mean, they're getting in on this sport documentary run because it generates revenues for all of these networks and streaming services and things like that, because sports, live sports is the one thing that you can't replicate. You can't, I mean, if you're watching it, you have to watch it. It's tough. You can, I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but you could DVR The Big Bang Theory and watch it the next day. And okay, big what? Yes. Or NCIS or, whatever show. But if I'm not going to be able to watch a Husker game, like I'm not going to be able to watch a Husker game on the Husker game on October 5th, because I'll be camping with my boy. I will have to shut off my phone or log out of Facebook, log off of X, etc. Like I have to, because spoilers, but you can't replicate that excitement with anything besides like live sports. Live news, maybe if there's a debate or a State of the Union address or something monumental, but otherwise live sports is the only thing that is capturing attention. So that's true. I apologize.
No, you're right. No, you're so right, Craig. I love that you brought that up because, I would just rather skip 3 and go straight to 5 real quick because of what you're saying.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Have it open?
I'm ready.
Okay. So,
I've been talking a lot, so I'll let you go.
4, since you already skipped 4.
Thank you.
Okay. Troy Dannon wrote a letter to the Big Ten commissioner. And he told us about it last night on Sports Nightly, the Husker radio podcast network. He asked, quote, to not have any more Friday night games. He didn't like other Big Ten schools laying their foot down about no weeknight games. Like the Michigan AD Ward Manuel said they would not be hosting Friday night games, and other Big Ten schools like Ohio State and Penn State, because they have those gigantic stadiums of like 100,000 plus. And they've all said, they're totally resisting having Friday night games. We had to apparently call off classes on Friday for Friday night's game. But also, do you know we had like 400? What I don't know what I did with that stat. 400 million viewers on Friday.
It was a bonkers number, honestly, and that's why look, obviously if Nebraska had won, it'd have been better for Nebraska. But you get a lot of eyeballs on on the team, on the program when that happens. I'm torn because not only that, but you disrupt the high school football schedule. And
was I
Nebraska,
that off? Was it? Andrew Curtis says it was more like 4.2 million. I just remember there being
a
4.
big number.
It
It was 4 people.
It was a lot.
No, it was and because of those numbers, I think that maybe not Nebraska, but the Big Ten will always do it. Now, will Nebraska always be in that spot? They've had Friday night games with Illinois each of the last 2 years, so I don't know. I don't see. I don't know if there's. I don't know where the resolution is, because you're not going to get a ton of people to care if you don't have a brand in, like, if you have Iowa, Minnesota, that's a rivalry game. But I don't think you're going to get enough people outside of those two fan bases to watch. And it helped.
That's what he said. That we'll keep, we'll obviously keep the Friday Iowa game because that's been, a rivalry that's been set.
Right.
But
and that's I believe
going forward.
Yeah, and I don't mean to interrupt you, although I didn't. I apologize 100%.
No, and I'm interrupting you. Sorry.
But he did say, you know what, we'd really like to limit our Friday games to just Black Friday with Iowa. So, yeah, I'd be okay without the Friday night games, but at the same time, when you're getting that many viewers, that's tough to. I mean, that's ad revenue. That's tough to turn down. So again, I begrudgingly understand it. So
I do too. I mean,
and until Nebraska starts winning, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's exactly where I was going with that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, until Nebraska is back at that upper echelon with Michigan, Ohio States, and even Penn State, if you want to include them, nobody's going to care what the Nebraska athletic director has to say about Friday night game schedule for them. They don't have Nebraska does not have the clout right now to be able to make that request and have it actually be honored.
Well, that just sucks. I think
I'm sorry to break your heart. I'm sorry to break your heart on that.
Okay. Well, that's okay, Greg.
Oh, here you go. Dustin dropping some statistical knowledge. Nebraska, Illinois was the third highest rated football game of the weekend. I'm assuming you just mean college, but still, that's
wow.
You're gonna get that big ABC game, that's on that marquee matchup, and I don't remember who. Maybe. I don't remember some of those, like the big noon Fox, big Fox noon, whatever, and then the marquee primetime matchup on Saturday night. But I'm not surprised. Again, for a while, I mean, it was the only game in town.
I have an idea based off of that comment.
Okay.
I mean, what if the Big Ten were to offer Nebraska more money to play on Friday?
That
because if it's a third highest rated game, that means we're making more money than we're getting paid, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, we also have a pretty fat media rights deal, so I don't see that being renegotiated at any point in, for special one-offs or things like that. And obviously, it's not just Nebraska. You have to cut in the opponent, in this case, Illinois, to some extent. Yes, I don't know. It's no, I don't. Okay. It's nice to think about, and it might sweeten the pot, but I just don't foresee any corporation just be like, here's an extra $5 million. Thanks for.
Okay. How about this? Since the schedule for Big Ten, because they're selling the rights to Fox or Big Ten
Cheers.
Network. I'm going to start playing the drums whenever you talk.
I'm sorry.
Get a guitar out. Just okay. Because I forgot where I was going. Shoot. Greg. Oh well.
I'm
All right.
sorry.
Okay. We'll go with Vince Watson's comment here. The local economy doesn't benefit as much on a Friday night game. True.
Sure.
Absolutely. Because, yeah. I mean, I assume most people either get off work early or just jam over right after work, and you don't have time to, take in all the sights. I do need an end tattoo. I do. Greg, maybe next time I see you, you and I can get one together.
Okay.
What?
I was just going to say, Diamond Dave told me you already had an end tattoo.
That what? What did he say?
Diamond Dave said you already had an end tattoo.
I don't have an end tattoo. I don't have a tattoo at all.
Yeah. Don't get it on your forehead. Great life advice.
Get it right here.
Cheers, Marianne. Get that permanent,
Cheers,
get the
Greg.
permanent. What? No, I said cheers back to Marianne or Slancha. Prots. However, I should get a big N on my chest. Look, there's plenty of chest there. Take up a lot of ink. Very barrel chested.
This is crazy. Okay, Greg.
I gotta walk sideways to go through the door.
Can we talk about the biggest news of the week?
The loss to Illinois in overtime?
No.
Oh. We can, but can we be silly for just a moment?
Okay.
Fred says Greg has a tattoo of John's butt on his butt of John's butt.
Okay.
Buttception. Pit Snipe Husker says the Mona Lisa has no tats. So I'm saying, well, first of all, we don't know that to be true, because you only see this part of the Mona Lisa. And by the way, thank you, birthday brother, for comparing me to the Mona Lisa. That is me right here. I realize that while I've let myself go a little bit, I'm a work of art. Once chiseled out of granite, now held together with duct tape and wire and a little bit of Play-Doh.
All right. Fred Sacco.
Keeping us back on track.
Spoiled the fun. Look at that. Hurrah. How come there's no exclamation marks or anything like that? Nothing in all caps.
Because we signed a 3-star quarterback. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I did.
He's a 3-star now.
I said that just for the reaction. I'm sorry. I should have prefaced it. I should have warned you. Trigger warning. No. No. Here, not only that, but if I may, by special request, can I take this comment down?
Please. Okay. Yes.
Well, yeah, I don't say please. Look at that. Look at the Raiolas there.
Lalakis came through for 5 heart.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This
is really fun. We are family. I said to Greg, wouldn't it be fun if, imagine because YouTube, you can do anything you want on YouTube. There's a show called We Are Family, and it's starring the Raiolas, and they're all in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I guess, yeah, but they're not going to move. I don't think Mom and Pop Raiola are going to move to Lincoln in a couple of years. Do you?
Oh, yeah. They're all about their kids. Yeah.
Fred, speaking of, says Dayton is 3 stars on the web, 6 stars, and 5 restraining orders in her heart.
Okay, that brings me to the other thing. If anyone was here on, let's see, was it Tuesday night, Greg?
I was here Tuesday night for a time.
For Husker Hangover?
Husker Happy Hour.
Should be Husker Hangover.
No, because that's what I'll have
felt like
tomorrow.
This year or this week. We definitely had a hangover this week. He should have changed the name of his show. Andy has a show on Tuesday nights called Husker Happy Hour.
Mm-hmm.
And he is he gets to go in the press box, and I know, yes, you guys were here, but not everybody was here, so I need to explain. He goes into the press box and he gets to watch the game and eat, the press box food and be catered to, and he's not allowed to cheer or anything, so he has to write down all of his thoughts. And this is his way to get them out of himself to the rest of the world. He tells us, kind of what he was thinking whenever the plays go down.
You can't call it a Husker release, because that will make people think inappropriate things about Herbie. Couldn't help it. Sorry. I apologize.
Oh my gosh. So on Tuesday, he kind of, gets carried away and really just tells us he basically is reliving the game for us. And he said something, and he said, yeah, by the way, we got Dayton Raiola as a quarterback, but he's shorter than Dylan and chubbier than Dylan. So, and I'm driving at right then and there, and I'm like, what is he saying? That is not true.
What is he saying? Should we go to the graphic?
Yes. I pull over and I do a super chat so that he sees it and reads it.
$4.99. $4.99. Minnie says, okay, I had to pull over for this. Dayton is taller and thinner now, Andy. He's going to be awesome. And that thing was up there for 5 minutes, and Andy never saw it. And I was like,
never read it. And
I kept going like, Andy, there's a super chat. You got $5, Andy money. Andy, you got to say that. And then I got blistered for it after he's like, oh, God, I got to get better. He needs a comment moderator. He needs to hire Miley to sit in and, put the comments on the screen for him.
So Dayton is part of the 2026 class. He's the first commitment in the class of 2026. He is the ultimate Husker fan. You got to love this. I mean,
tell us more.
Well, as Melissa said, he's a lefty. He's the quarterback at Buford High School in Georgia.
Buford, Georgia.
And he's a junior there. Yes.
That's how years work.
So, and he's still growing. By the way, he's 6'1", 210 pounds.
That's nothing. I'm 6'2 3/4 and just shy of 250. Get out of here, Dayton. Kick your ass, kid. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. I don't beat up minors anymore.
Well, I'm just happy that he committed. That is just great news.
Vince Watson with an interesting observation. I thought Minnie was the ultimate Husker fan, but Minnie has said that Dayton's the ultimate Husker fan. Are we going to have it? It's the Husker fan contest. We'll have trivia. That'd be, if we could get Dayton on the show for trivia, I would lose my mind.
I guarantee that kid knows more than you and I put together.
He's only 16. What is he?
He's lived and breathed it.
His dad wasn't a Husker when he was alive. He doesn't know anything.
Well, why do you think he's a fan?
Why do you think we're fans? Because we don't know any better. because somebody once made
yeah,
for me, I wasn't born into it like so many beautiful people in our Chatterfields and Fred. Somebody introduced me to it, and I love / hate them to this day. No, I'm kidding. It's great.
TSD rounds up to 6 foot. He's 5'11 3/4. I just will round up.
Fred said, Fred says, "Oh shit, this is like that Spider-Man meme with Dylan and or with Minnie and Dayton pointing at each other." TSD says we're fans because we have PTSD and born into this religion. Yeah, let's see, what is that line from The Dark Knight Rises? Oh, I'm not gonna get it right. I'm not gonna do it a disservice. I got it. Bane says he's talking to Batman about the darkness. He's like, it's a lot like being a Husker fan. Bane, darkness, quote. Here we go. I adopted Husker fandom, but a lot of you were born into it, molded by it. You didn't know anything else until you were already a man, and then there was nothing but blinding light. That's not a good Bane impersonation. I wasn't doing a Bane impersonation. I was trying to find commonality between the nerdy side of me and the Nebraska side of me.
Okay, here's the problem with that quote. You did it in your voice. So I thought you were saying it like that was coming out of you. But it was actually a quote. So you need to redo it in a different voice.
Okay. I will try.
So I understand.
I'll try. Have you ever seen The Dark Knight Rises? Christian Bale, the end of the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally, but you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then, it was nothing to me but blinding.
Something like that.
I have no idea why you're not an actor.
Because I have this face. Like I said, my dad said that I had a face for radio, and he did not lie. MK used the Bane voice. Fred says, I don't even know what the fuck Greg said. Worst impression ever. And TSD follows through. Pretty good impression for real.
Pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move on to number 6. By the way.
Can we?
Oh, wait, yes, I'm sorry.
Just real quick. Just
Housekeeping.
If you happen to read the description of the show, can you just say like yes in the chat if anyone read it?
I read it. Oh, that's right. It's that time of the show where I have to read I have to read the description, though. It's my job. I have to read the things that people are
because nobody reads it. Oh, Melissa did. Aaron Keene did.
Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that they don't care what we're talking about? They're just so happy to see us?
No, I don't think they're even here to see us. I think they're here for each other.
Flies goodbye said yepper. James Boardman said no. Well, that's fine.
James. Well, the gist of it, unless Greg, you want to read it.
I'll read it. But Fred says, no, I refuse to be part of the format. Raji didn't read it. I feel like Justin Raji not reading it kind of breaks your heart a little bit.
It does. You know it does. Right. Totally.
Here we go. Yeah. 5 Heart. No time to feel sorry. On to Purdue. The wonderful thing about 5 Heart is that 5 Heart's a wonderful thing. No, I'm kidding. Is that every Thursday night we get together to discuss all things Husker football, which means it's been nearly a week since we played Illinois last Friday night. That's how time works. I'm sure by now you've watched John's post-game reactions, both of them, Greg and Haas's overreaction, John's Monday night therapy, Andy's Husker happy hour, all the other Husker coaches and players' post-game pressers and weekly pressers, rewatched the game at least 3 times, reviewed game stats, commented on all your Husker social media sites, and after all of that, you still probably want to discuss what went wrong last Friday night against Illinois. One thing we strive to do at 5 Heart is give the people what they want. Hence, Greg performed lunges during last week's episode after receiving a $2 super chat request. Not enough. Never again. While we can't expect that ever again, hopefully, fuck you, we can expect to bury any lasting remains of that Illinois game and move on toward a happier time. The Huskers will be playing the Purdue Boilermakers this coming Saturday, so let's start this hype train as we board it to West Lafayette, Indiana. See you Thursday night at 9 o'clock Central. Until then, go Big Red.
Yes. Okay. So this is our chance now.
Fred.
This is our chance to bury the last of the remains of that Illinois game.
Hold on. I wait, timeout. I'm so confused. Melissa's comment at 10:06. Greg showed the picture that guy is coming back this week from his blood cottage. I don't know. I don't know what a blood cottage is, but I'm freaked out. What is a blood cottage? Okay. Yes. Let us put this one behind us.
Okay.
Effectively, finally, for the last time.
I mean, basically, the only thing I wanted to say about this game that I haven't said yet is Dayton Raiola was sacked 5 times. 5 times. Unacceptable.
You don't want anybody touching your man but you. We get it.
Do you want to add anything to the Illinois loss?
Oh, I mean, we have so many notes here. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to say I had a bad feeling, but when we didn't go down on our first possession and score, I was like, oh, this is new. I don't like that. Yeah. We did have to punt on the opening drive. And for the first, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Illinois marched down and scored, that was the first time we've trailed in a game this year. Is that wrong?
Yeah. They were a different team against us than what they showed in previous games. In fact, they didn't have any interceptions. Altmaier looked like a freaking 5-star quarterback.
He looked good.
Yeah. We made them look pretty good, but
I'm not happy about that.
I think it's because Brett Bielema and Aaron Henry, they were together at Wisconsin when he was a coach there, and Aaron Henry was actually played for him. So they were very, very familiar with the 3-3-5 defense, and I think they exploited the weaknesses. Because when, like Tony White said, whenever, after half, we thought, okay, we're going to blitz more, and then they started running. So it just seemed like they knew what we were doing all the time.
When you look at the statistics, I mean, statistically, we're pretty even. We knew that going in. We talked about that last week, that it was going to be a very even matchup. I think that we didn't necessarily execute obviously in all facets. You talked about the 5 sacks, and I know you hate that. And you hate that for your reasons. I hate that because that means that we're moving backwards. Don't look at me like that. That was a look. Thank you, Joe. I'm wrong. I said that we lost, or we trailed, or when we were trailing to Illinois early, that was the first time we'd been trailing. I was wrong in that. So thank you, Joe, for fact checking. Northern Iowa scored a field goal on their opening drive to lead 3-0 early on. But we came back because, that on our opening drive, we went down and scored. Anyway, we couldn't do anything running the ball. For those of you who watched or listened to Haas and I, our run game is still very bland, very vanilla. We're not doing anything, and we're not utilizing any form of misdirection. We're not using our backs probably in the best way, and we're not pulling guards. And so it's the same blocking schemes, and it's the same, the defense keys on that. I felt bad for like Dante Dowdell. He's shown us more, and I don't obviously don't put the loss on him. It was a front to back. It was a failure. It was a letdown. Somebody said in the comments here, they're not wrong. TSD, Illinois is a good team. Still sucks to lose. We have a true freshman, great quarterback. Defense has to be better in our offensive line, special teams to win 9 games. Now, I want to focus on, again, Illinois is not a bad team, and I hate saying that because I had people messaging me. I don't chirp. I just don't, because I don't care enough to chirp. But people know that, and so I got guys I work with who are like, "Hey, how's that Illinois-Nebraska game going?" Like, guys on Monday at the office were talking to me about it, and one of them, he's like, "I almost sent you a text on Friday, but I felt better of it." I'm like, people know when something gets under my skin, I'm not very good at hiding it. I tend to let my I don't have a good poker face. So people know what buttons to push. So I hated losing to Illinois. I felt like and I'm not going to mention anything about the referees. I feel like a few other things go our way that we don't go to overtime. We're having a very different conversation right now. But at the end of the day, we have some promising elements. Sia Wright came in for Tommy Hill after Tommy Hill got injured.
Yeah.
Sia Wright's going to have a monster game this weekend against Purdue. Make no mistake about it, because Tommy Hill's out. And I know I'm skipping ahead again a little bit. But
don't do that.
I'm not. but Sia Wright is a force, and he's about to be a monster. It's going to be so fun to watch him grow, develop, and evolve. And he's legit. And we have a tremendous roster. So it's so weird because earlier in the summer, you were telling me that I need to be more positive. And Friday night after the game, you and I were messaging back and forth. And I'm like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And I believe that.
Okay.
I believe it then. I'm doubling down. Yes, ma'am.
You got a small taste of what it's been like for the last few years. I mean, I basically was like, okay, my life is over. I will not ever go on 5 Heart ever again.
Because everybody,
she said, like a fraud.
She said to me, I don't think I can show my face on the 5 Heart podcast anymore. And I said, why? Do you realize that for the 8 years that we've been doing this, Nebraska's not been great? Like, I don't know why you all of a sudden decide that, like, oh, I can't. I'm too embarrassed. Oh, gosh, we lost the game.
I was down in the depths of despair. I mean, it took a lot for me to pull myself out of there.
We don't do overreaction live most of the time. And this past Illinois game was no exception. We recorded that. But Haas said, don't be surprised if Illinois beats Penn State this weekend. And Pitt Snipe Husker, a.k.a. Jason, says, calling that Illinois dumps Penn State. And look, at this point, Haas said it too. Illinois, Colorado, like, it is in Nebraska's best interest for these teams that we have either played close or beaten to continue to do well. Like we don't want Illinois to be. We don't want Illinois' fluke win to be against us, you know. And if they win, they've got 2 top 25 wins already. Kansas first, and then Nebraska. And then if they go into Happy Valley and beat, I believe, the number 9 Penn State team, which again I think they are capable of, that doesn't make this loss look worse.
Okay, true. And I hope you're right. Let's all hope that. David Matney, can you pull up the comment about can we go and get a 5-star kicker?
Yes, I can.
Can you? Yeah. Guess what, David Matney?
We had a 5-star
John Hull
kicker.
was a 5. No, he was rated as a 5-star kicker. I don't know what exactly happened there. But he ended up going to a junior college and not being recruited by anyone. He must have messed up somewhere. I don't know what it was. But Rule said today in his press conference that John Hull actually was able to kick like a 60-yard field goal in practice.
Was, but so here's the thing. We had a highly touted kicker just a few years ago in Barrett Pickering. Y'all remember that name? Barrett Pickering from Alabama. He was the number 4 kicker in the country.
Oh.
He was
when was he?
He was a freshman in 2018. And he lasted just a couple years, oddly enough. I honestly, I don't think he finished out his career. He had to, for injuries, forced him to medically retire after the 2019 season. But, which, I mean, you don't want anybody to have to retire for medical, injury purposes. He was Rivals.com had him as the number 4 kicker in the country, 247 Sports, the 13th best kicker. He chose Nebraska over Vanderbilt and Yale. And I'll be honest with you, you go back to that time, I was really excited for Barrett Pickering. I thought he was going to really improve our special teams, and that was not the case. So I don't think it has to do with 5-star, David. And look, I don't normally disagree with
David Matney.
I don't think I've ever disagreed with Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast. Pause here for brand identity that's missing on my Google.
You are, Greg, watch it. You may not be invited to dinner one day.
With the Matneys?
The Matney family dinner. Epic.
Here's the thing. This is a true story. Now, I don't know about this Matney family dinner. I know nothing about it. Don't know when it's held except at dinner time on some occasion. But I'm pretty sure that if I showed up, they'd open the door, because that's what the Matneys do. They open the door, not just to their home, but to your next home as well in the greater Omaha metro area. So make sure that you check out Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, this channel right here on YouTube. Did you like that? I came up with that all on my own. I forgot.
I know, you made me laugh.
I forgot what I was talking about beforehand.
Somebody wants to know if you can actually kick. Hey, I may be only 5'2", but I promise you, I'd be a better kicker than this guy. Okay.
No, here's where this is the God's honest truth, and I don't think I've ever believed anything as fervently as I believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth. Charlie Brown, Lucy Van Pelt, she pulls the football out for me every time, despite the fact that she says, no, I would not at Thanksgiving, not at the holidays. No. And then I run, land flat on my back. And she says, funny thing about it, you got to have it, that contract notarized or whatever the hell fucking bitch ass Lucy says. So,
Greg, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. Your take that I could be a Lucy, but I definitely agree with your take that you are Charlie Brown.
Wah, wah. Oh, I can't wait for our Halloween episode where I come in with as like a ghost with a bunch of holes and be like, I got a rock.
Greg.
Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, I am the Charlie Browniest. Just say it. Just admit it.
That's true. It's true.
All right. Where are we at?
Grief.
Where are we going?
Good grief. Okay. We
Thank you.
are going.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Do we feel like we just what?
Jason says I could totally see Minnie in the therapy booth. Therapy,
Yes,
5 cents, 1 nickel. Nickels.
You have no idea. Okay. Do we feel like we have totally gone through every Illinois comment we possibly could?
We didn't
so
really
we can
even
put this to rest.
We never really talked about the Illinois game at all. You wanted to talk about Dayton Raiola and UNLV.
No. Okay.
And Troy Dannon.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I put there for the Illinois game. If you want to talk about it, I wrote it, so I'm okay. All I know is the ball where Isaiah Nair the touchdown that should have been a touchdown where Isaiah Nair came down with it and the other Illinois defender stripped the ball from him. No, it should have been an incomplete pass. It should have been. That is one of the biggest mishaps of the game, in my opinion.
It ended up being what I think a 10-point swing, if I remember correctly. They took 7 points off the board for. And here's the thing, I think what really chaps my ass about that, they called it a touchdown on the field.
Yep.
And there was nothing that was whatever.
I was so mad. Every time we scored a touchdown, I thought, oh my gosh, are they going to overturn it? Every time. That's how bad it got. I was so mad. Oh.
What's the word that they use? Like the announcers say they have to have conclusive evidence or something like that, or incontrovertible. God dang it. Whatever. There was nothing in any of that review that should have awarded Illinois the football. It should have been an incomplete pass.
Yes.
And I would have been happy with an incomplete pass given the way that play ended. But let's see. Oh yeah, no. You're right. I didn't get a chance to. I highlighted it. Nobody else paid attention to it, but I saw it. Mr. Matney and Fred, I appreciate your comment about Dayton Raiola. So I think the more than anything, I want to talk about the absolute failure that was the overtime portion. And I would have started when the defense is
I don't even think I can.
Okay.
Honestly, I just think that I'm so mad that things got out of hand. It never should have gotten to that point. It just seems like we were set up for failure. How on earth does that happen?
I would have started.
We were up at half, and we were winning most of the game. How does that happen?
As I was going to say, if I'm Nebraska and I win the toss, I'm taking the ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to, no offense to the defense carried us last year. They haven't had to carry us this much this year, and they didn't have a strong showing. So what I would have wanted to do is I would have wanted to set the tone offensively and make sure that, hey, if we get 7, all right, defense, go out there, shut them down. That's what I would have liked to have seen. Of course, that doesn't happen. Illinois takes 2 plays. They go from the 25 to the 1 in their first play, and then, a quick I think pass for the touchdown. Yeah, was that the pass to the 350-pound guy, or was that still in regulation? I can't remember. It's rare to find an offense.
You're making me so sick. You're making me sick to my stomach. Like, seriously, either I want to punch something or throw up. I don't know which. But thank goodness, guess who's here?
BFOT is Josh. All right, so Josh, here is a recap of everything you've missed.
No, just go back and watch and catch up.
That's not nearly as fun for me.
2 double time when Greg's talking, but normal when I'm talking. You'll catch up in no time.
Wow. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to say it. That's too mean. I was going to say something. Nope, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, go ahead, Greg. I can take it. What?
No, I'm not going to do it. I refuse to say the thought that just zipped through my brain.
What?
No. I was just going to say it's rare to find a football player who's bigger than Burt Bielema. But they found one and found him for a touchdown, which was a little insane.
That's not what you were going to say.
No, that's what I was going to say before Josh jumped into the chat.
Okay, that's what you were going to say?
Before Josh jumped in the chat and my thought train got derailed. Yeah, I would have, if you had to go to overtime and you won the toss, I would have taken the ball and let the offense with the short field do something. But they were on their heels from the very beginning. They went backwards. It's not on anybody's fault. And I even said this to Haas. There was a man unchecked in the final play of the game. He said it was a stunt. I thought it was a linebacker. I'm gonna go with Haas on this one. But the DN just comes through untouched and sacks Dillon to end the game. That's tough. Nebraska, for these milestone games, I think we talked about this last week, the 100, 200, 300, 400 consecutive sellouts, Nebraska has always been ranked, but this is the first one that they've not won. This is the first game of those milestones that Nebraska has lost. So it's unfortunate, but life, Minnie, and this is important, life goes on. The sun came out the next day.
Almost. I mean, you still are living with that disgusting taste in your mouth. But luckily, Greg, I had somebody to remind me being a Husker fan is like climbing a mountain.
Who told you that?
You did.
Oh, crap. What'd I say?
No, you sent me a video of Reba McEntire.
Look, you said you're going to climb a mountain. So I sent you the Reba McEntire. I'm going to climb that mountain. I forgot about that.
I said, I'm like, yes, Greg, that is so true. That's what being a Husker fan is like. And you were being literal. I was being metaphorical.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says, hopefully this loss does for football what the SMU loss has done for volleyball. Aaron Keene says, Hansen, yes, precisely. And for the second time tonight, I've been, I don't want to say hawk to it because that's not right, but let me clear my throat perhaps a little bit. I don't know.
We're done with it. Go ahead.
This is what I like to use to get a taste of a bad game out. Some delicious. It is Yuengling Traditional Lager. It is America's oldest brewery. And it really is the nectar of the gods.
Okay.
Delicious.
No hot tua?
No. That seems wildly inappropriate.
That's what I thought you were doing.
I don't know why I would have given you that indication.
Okay.
Minnie, let's move on. We have Purdue this week, and hour and a half into the show, let's move on.
Purdue, or as most of the chat likes to refer to her as Perdon't.
It's true.
Poor Purdue. I mean, what can we say about them? They've, they don't have a chance in hell. Let's just put it lightly, okay? No chance in hell against our amazing quarterback and our amazing defense. Our offense is going to show up, and here we go. We're just going to school them. So Purdue is 1-2. They had a bye week already. Their second week was a bye week. Could you imagine starting your season and having a bye week, just your second week?
When Nebraska played that 0 week game, didn't we have a really early bye? I thought too.
We did. But wasn't that when we were in Ireland?
Maybe.
We came back, we played, and then we had a bye or something.
I'm still waiting for you to see this comment by Josh.
What? This is the fourth time Greg's been on twice in one night since he was working in Tijuana. Poor Greg.
You know what? The funny thing is, I'm not even going to disclose what I was doing in Tijuana.
Well, you've been to Tijuana?
I've never been outside the country. No, never been outside the country. Sorry to get everybody's hopes up. Josh was just being funny.
Josh, give us some dirt on Greg.
There's no dirt on me.
Josh, you missed it. It's my birthday show, so I want some good dirt on Greg. Thank you. All right. So Purdue, week 1, they beat Indiana State 0-49, which Indiana State is like the worst in the country. So that doesn't count. But
Fred says I was selling bootleg Protect Your Balls shirts.
Week 2 is their bye week. Week 3 lost to Notre Dame. And Notre Dame came in and schooled those boys.
No, Notre Dame was pissed because the week
at home.
In week 2 they lost to Northern Illinois. So Notre Dame came out to make a statement to say, we're not really that bad. See, here's what we did to our neighbor that's 50 miles away or less. I have no concept of proximity between South Bend and West Lafayette. So,
okay. And week 4, a loss to Oregon State, 21-38. And John had the Purdue guy on his show on Monday night, and he did talk about how good Oregon State wasn't. So this week we get a home game. It's the first conference game in West Lafayette, Indiana.
I'm sorry, you said a home. This is our first road game.
Nope, it's their first. It's Purdue's first Big Ten conference game.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you talked about Nebraska when you said it's the first home game.
I was talking about Purdue. I was talking about how they lost to Oregon State.
Okay, I'm sorry. I crossed wires. Apologies.
That's okay. Okay, go ahead.
I just BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I wonder how many games this season Purdue is going to get a pissed off team coming off a loss that piss pounds them, aka Purdue. Like it happened in Notre Dame. I think it could happen this weekend too. So I know, Josh. God dang it. I text you every day. You don't think I don't know when you fuck up a word? Come on, Jesus.
Did you watch any of the after game press conferences between, with the players and Matt Rule?
If I'm being honest, and it's not.
You did?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Greg
gets a negative 5 points.
That's fine.
Hey, Pitt Snipes Husker, will you please write that down? Greg gets a negative 5 points.
I've lost points. I'm sorry. I didn't watch any Prescott. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I was like, I need to watch these pressers, and I didn't. And I'm sorry. I've let everybody down. I'm the worst.
It's okay.
I'm
Well,
a
I have
horrible
to
human
tell
being.
you, they are good, so it's worth your time. But one of the things is that I wanted to talk about was Marquise Buford Jr. He
Mhm.
gets out there. He's the first one to represent the defense, and the defense really just seemed like they were just not in the right spots, and we talked about that. But in particular, he looked to me like he could seriously start crying, which makes me start crying, right?
You're a very
And
sensitive person.
I'm I am. I'm a very emotional football person. And I just know that if that's how he feels, the rest of the defense echoes that.
I do feel
And
like a
so I
lot of
cannot wait to see this week.
I love the leadership on this defense from Marquise, from Giff, from Ty, Nash as well. Like at all levels of the defense, we have guys who are stepping up, who are owning the accountability, and who want to make sure that this is the team, their team, because all those guys are seniors. Like they all came back, like they didn't have to, but they are so. I don't want to say desperate. I feel like that, brings a negative connotation, but they so want this team to succeed, this program to start to, we talk about GIF and we've talked about how the foundation that, his brother kind of left. Nobody's blaming his brother for going to the NFL and playing, for the Dallas Cowboys, if that's your thing, but they want to make sure that they are establishing that foundation of leadership. So how bad these guys want it, because they could be at the next level making money. And they're here, yeah, they're still making money, but they're making college money instead of NFL money. So I believe that they are focused. I think they're laser focused for this weekend.
I do too. Oh, yes. You better believe that they looked at every single mistake. And if it was mental, they fixed that. If it was something that the coaches needed to teach more, they did that. It's all cleaned up. And I think that we needed to have a game like that. The one thing I think I wrote this down, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. The one thing that because I went and watched yours and Haas's overreaction from the Purdue game last year. Okay.
Oh, God. Did you watch our overreaction or overreaction revisited?
Overreaction revisited.
Okay.
Well, I already watched the overreaction last year. But the revisited version, you guys pointed out that last year Purdue in the fourth quarter had possession and they scored. And it made me think this. Okay. We haven't played well in the second half of games on defense or offense.
No.
Because we've allowed teams to score in the second half, and our score hasn't increased much in the second half. And I want to hear our players say, we played hard in the entire game after this week. That's what I want to hear.
And I know Haas and I talked about this earlier in the week. It may be a situation of getting all the guys in against UTEP and all the guys in against Northern Iowa may have come back to bite them in the ass against Illinois. This is Big Ten play ball. we have to be able to have our starters go 4 quarters. They have to be able. They have to be. The cardio's got to be there. They have to be able to compete at a high level when the game is on the line. We didn't see that against Illinois. Just the overtime was a perfect example of just not being ready to play a full 60. So I want their conditioning to be up a little bit. And I know when you're in the season, you're not working on conditioning as much. We'll see if they implemented anything, a little extra conditioning for Purdue, because we can't go on the road, lay an egg, not a, like a zero, like not shut out, but shit the bed. And, we have to be physical. We have to dominate this weekend. Otherwise, any upward trajectory we thought we had is going to go right down the toilet, period.
Hey, Melissa says a true freshman playing tackle. That's Gunnar Gatula. Is that who she's talking about?
I don't think he's
Which
because he wasn't he on the roster last year? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
but-
3 years. Wait,
I think you read.
he's a redshirt. He's a redshirt freshman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Is who
left
you're
tackle
talking
spot.
about, Lisa?
Losing Turner Corcoran definitely hurt. We'll
Imagine
see.
how he feels. This poor guy has gotten hurt every single season.
Yeah, him and Teddy Prohaska both. So it's rough.
Yeah. I feel so bad for them.
So we'll see. Gunner's a 6'6", 305-pound, redshirt freshman from Lincoln. That's a
Six
kid
what? What is he?
6'6", 305.
What? Oh my goodness. And he looks like he has a baby face. That's the thing. Even though he has a beard, he still looks like he has a baby face. It's so cute.
Well, he's like 19 years
6'6".
old. So
Dang.
I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
Just a couple weeks ago, he turned 20. So
Oh.
Orson, where's John? John gets Thursdays off because of his Monday night therapy obligations. So I'm Greg. This is Minnie. Welcome. You must be new here.
Orson, we're happy to have you. We're here
We
every
are.
Thursday night at 9:00.
We like being your backup option when there's no John. Oh, there we go. That
Okay.
makes me feel better.
Well, oh, he loves you, dude. And
And
Dudette.
we'd hope so. Also says go
He didn't
Hogs.
say Dudette, but
So nobody says do that anymore.
they should. We should bring that back. And Ice Ice Baby also.
Thank you, Orson. We were just talking earlier about how everybody said I had a face for radio. I did terrestrial radio for over 10 years, but I appreciate the compliment.
Okay. So the Boilers defense has had major struggles containing the run and currently ranks third worst among 134 FBS teams in the nation, with an average of 269 yards allowed per game on the ground.
Minnie, you're not looking at the comment.
What? Craig, you're so hot.
That's what Orson says. So.
Greg,
no, I
do you-
can't be. Jesus. I don't even want to put that one up there. That makes me embarrassed and uncomfortable.
My Lord. You can be my granddaddy. Hey, daddy, granddaddy. Okay. Can we get back to football, please? Oregon State and Notre Dame ran wild. Each had over 300 yards rushing against Purdue.
They sure did.
Okay, you know who we have to watch out for again, right?
Who do we have to watch out for? You tell us.
Devin Mockabee.
Devin Mockabee. We didn't really hear a whole lot of him
Remember
last
him?
week. I mean, last year.
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
You've done 2 overreactions to the Purdue game, and you can't remember?
See, the best part about when it's saved to the internet, I don't have to remember it. If I want to go back and relive it, I can watch it again. I don't. But I don't think we had to worry a whole lot about Devin Mockabee last year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did. So, and
did?
Reggie Love. Yep. And Hudson Card.
So here's
mean-
the thing. No, I'm going to say this. We didn't have to worry about Devin Mockabee last year. Last year, Devin Mockabee ran for 42 yards and a fumble. 2 years ago, sure, on 30 carries, he ran for 178 yards. Do you know that yards per carry, when you go 30 carries for 178 yards, Minnie?
What is it?
5.93 yards.
That's
That
Not
math
good.
that math didn't work out so well when I came into that a whole lot more smug than I ended up. So, But- that being said,
well, that may be so. But okay, so we have those players to look out for, but we also have, get this, Greg. There's been three missing players on Purdue's roster
right.
that are joining and will be at this game. Transfer cornerback Nyland Green, linebacker Winston Berglund, and cornerback Salem Turner Muhammad. And I think 2 of them are from Georgia. I hear you typing away.
I am. Nyland Green is from Georgia. Look, he was on the Bulldogs roster last year as a redshirt sophomore. But he's been injured. I think this is his first game, correct me if I'm wrong, of the season.
Yes, that's what I was saying. They're all coming in. They haven't
Okay.
seen the field yet.
Well, you said they're returning, so I didn't know if they were like they had garbage time against Notre Dame or something like that. So apologies. I don't know much about the others, but all I can say, and this is about as pragmatic. If Nebraska minimizes mistakes,
Yeah.
plays within themselves, sticks to the game plan, they're not going to have any trouble with Purdue.
It's true. And I've been really, really down on the guys for all the penalties. And so I was looking up stats today to try and show like we're horrible in penalties. Yeah, we are. But other really good teams are not faring so well. But, it's because some of them have only played 3 games and some have played 4. So, the stats really aren't. I mean, once we get to once we're after this week, we'll really know where we stand with penalties. Like, I really hope that the penalties are cleaned up, but I'm not saying like, what the heck is going on? Like, we really need to rethink this. Let's just take one more game and see how we are.
I'm not going to sit here and say that every penalty against Illinois was warranted. I looked at the stats. Illinois was flags were thrown against Illinois 3 times last Friday night for 20 yards. I think for Nebraska was like 9 for 85 or something like that, or it was lopsided to say the least. And you'll never convince me that every one of those penalties. I'm not blaming. First of all, not blaming the refs for the outcome of Friday's game. I'm not. But you can't sit – I don't think any unbiased individual could sit there and say, oh, yeah, no, all of those were legit, you know. Josh says, how many coach speak cliches can Greg put into one sentence? As many as I want to.
It's true.
I'm trying not to get fined by the conference.
Pit Snipe Husker says, do we have a choice? And do you know how many times I ask this question to myself whenever I'm like feeling kind of down on the team, or I think, I wish this would change.
Not at all.
What?
No, you're fine. You're having your conversation with the general public, and I was talking to Orson. So.
Okay, Orson. Anyways, we've had 29 penalties total for 273 yards this season so far.
This seems a bit high.
Yeah, it is. 273. There's some teams, like New Mexico, that have like in the 300s.
Whoa.
We're averaging almost 70 yards in penalties per game, which is crazy.
It's horrible. I know. But let's just see where we are after this next game.
Minnie, are you related to Clark Hunt?
No. Who's Clark Hunt?
I feel like he's a very specific person that Orson knows. So,
All right.
So Minnie, let me ask you a few questions. Actually, let me ask you one question, and you take all the time in the world you need to answer it, okay? In case there are multiple answers to the question. That make sense?
Okay, gotcha.
Do you know where I'm going with this, or are you a little petrified?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Okay. I just thought I was going to be able to throw you for a loop there.
I may be slow. I'm not that slow, okay?
Who said you were slow?
Oh, really? As the evening progresses, I get slower because my brain wants to shut down and go to sleep.
Is it because of your old age?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Are you sundowning? Are you sundowning? I'm going to start calling you John Jr. Minnie, what do you want to see from Nebraska this week?
I'm glad you asked that, Greg. Let me tell you. This week from Nebraska, I want our guys to tackle better. Don't let those extra yards pile up. And when you tackle, make sure they're losing yardage. I also want you to run the ball. Run the effing ball.
I guess I know what shirt I'm wearing on Saturday morning.
Purdue, yes, that's where Purdue is weakest. So let's run it all over the place. Give it to Dante Dowdell, and I definitely want to see Emmett Johnson with a lot of carries as well, because nobody can cut like Emmett Johnson. Give him a chance to show off his cuts.
That went dark. I'm sorry.
Greg, I want you to take over. What do you want to see?
You know, we have a very talented wide receiver room. You know, we have some of that quote unquote homegrown talent, like a Carter Nelson and Jalen Lloyd. We have some transfer acquisitions, Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nayor. We have true freshmen from Florida who I want to say he seems out of place, but he's playing so well. But Ja'Cory Barney Jr., I would really like to see. And here's the thing. I do believe that Dylan Raiola has done it. Raiola, like there's another Dylan on the team. Maybe there is. I don't know. But only one of them is quarterback. I think he's done a great job of spreading the ball around, you know, finding multiple targets. Banks and Nayor, each of them were like this close. I think One had 98 yards and one had 90 yards receiving in the game against Illinois. So we're getting so close to some of these milestone statistical moments. But if run to open the pass, you utilize Dante Dowdell, Emma Johnson, even Ramir Johnson, because he's talented. I mean, we've all known this for years, and knock on wood that he is remains healthy to be able to be utilized. But run to open the pass, make Purdue put 7-8 guys in the box, and then be able to spread the ball out, get on the perimeter, use the speed of Carter Nelson and Jalen Lloyd, Ja'Cory Barney, use the size of Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nayor, and really just find success in the passing game built off of the accomplishments of the running game. And if we can find ways to bring Heinrich Harburg in and use him,
Yes.
there's going to come a time, there will come a time this season where Heinrich Harburg is going to throw a touchdown because they have to respect his ability. They've seen him on film now. They know that they're bringing him in, not so much for trick plays but they are scheming with Heinrich. And look again, Nebraska had only 5 wins last season. You can't dispute or debate that. But Heinrich Harburg was the starting quarterback for all 5 of those wins. The kid is an athlete. Finding ways to get him on the field, utilizing him, do a little trickeration, I don't care. We talked about the importance of playing the entire game, playing all 4 quarters, not coming out flat in the second half. Minnie, you hit the nail on the head, a few minutes back where you're like, yeah, we've been a first half team. We need to find a way to carry that momentum, carry that success back out onto the field after halftime. And what I'd really like to see, we talked about it again, is find a way to not be penalized so damn much.
Oh, yes, Greg. You said that so well.
You know what? I had a really good script writer. So,
but another thing I would like to see is Micah Mazuka. I want him back on the offensive line. I don't care what he did. Get the kid on the line. We need him.
That's such a. I'm not disputing the need. The offensive line needs some help. We need more depth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the situation, so I don't want to say uncomfortable. I don't want to say.
Let me ask you a question. No, let me ask you a question. Do you have a grandmother? Did you have a grandmother? I
had 2, and I have 1, if that makes sense.
Okay.
God bless her, 93 years old.
God bless her. Yes. If you called grandma and said, Grandma, I killed someone today, would she say to you, well, honey, he probably deserved it?
Fun story. You know how spammers like to target senior citizens?
Yes.
So I'm my grandma's only grandson. Like, it's me, my sister, and we have a cousin. And years back, Grandma got a phone call from her grandson. I don't know if he sounded like me. Says, Grandma, I need some bail money. I've been arrested. And my grandma says, my grandson will never be arrested, and hung up. And so there I sat in the county jail for 3 damn days. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Greg, you get my point. Granny is like, well, honey, he probably deserved it. It's okay. In other words, no matter what you do, it's not that bad. And that's how I feel about Micah Mazuka right now.
I will respect and honor your opinion, But as being someone who's on the outside of the situation, if whatever infraction, whatever team rule he broke, if he still has yet to make amends, like you have to have boundaries. And look, I want the best players on the team on the field because that's how you win games. But you have to operate within the confines of the rules. And rules for the Nebraska football program are a little different than the rules for the Five Heart podcast. We talked about guidelines and rules earlier. The format is a guideline. But for MAT rules, Nebraska Cornhusker football program rules are rules. So whatever happened, I hope it gets sorted out. I hope it has been sorted out. And you're right. I hope Micah does get the opportunity to play on Saturday. But if not, next man up.
Okay. So grandma would not make a good football coach. Is that what you're saying?
No. She would make a hell of a baseball manager, though. Like, she loves the Cardinals. Like, oh.
All right. Well, Greg, do we have anything else? Score predictions. Let's do that.
All right. Now would be a great time. If you have a score prediction, if you haven't thrown it in the chat already, do so now. I'm going to look through our starred comments. By the way, love my grandma. Love both my grandmas.
Shout out to everyone's grandma.
Shout out. You know what? This is the second most wholesome moment we've ever had.
Living or not. Shout out. I'm sorry.
That's tremendous. Second most wholesome Five Heart moment of all time. Last week we did the kids book. Shouting out your grandmas. Grandmas are special. So that is beer, Orson. I have nope. I am fortunate enough to be across a river from a place where I can actually get Yingling traditional lager. So yeah, we drink beer on this here channel, brother. I don't know what y'all do down in the Sioux country, but all right, Minnie, do me the honor of highlighting all the.
I am.
I'm
doing it.
Okay, I'm going to start.
Ahead of you.
I know you're the best. I'm going to start ripping through some of these comments, and we've already addressed that and that and that. Tiger Shark Diver said an hour and a half ago, if I had Minnie's hair, I could have been a male model. Now I have to work in IT like John. Minnie, can
get a wig?
Have you mastered that like hair flip? Like the little.
No, I don't hardly. No.
But,
I don't like to mess with my hair.
So we're gonna have a moment there, but all right, whatever.
I like hair, but I don't like doing it or anything like that. I don't like sitting in salon chairs. No, thank you.
Yeah, but you can do like the hair flip, right?
Yeah, but okay, like that.
No,
I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
That's fine. I'm getting one. I'm doing a little bit of typing to get a very fun answer.
Oh Lord.
Okay. All right. Back to serious comment. Fred says,
"Not a wig. This is my hair."
Who said it was a wig?
It does not come off. I don't know. People are saying I'm wearing a wig.
No. Come on now. She's wearing a wig just as much as I'm wearing a wig, okay? Come on. This is, hey, all real, all right? Fred says, serious comment. Do you think the Chasing 3 series can potentially hurt the team, far as the team believing their own hype? Minnie?
So here's I mean, no, because I don't think it's really like that. But did you notice that we did not get a Chasing 3 this week?
I did not.
We lost.
Is that the rule? You only get it when you win?
No, I don't know what the rules are because they're so new, right? We didn't get one this week.
It also makes me wonder because a lot of the game footage that they use is collected there from the sidelines, and would we have the full film crews for road games if we have Chasing 3 next week as well? So I don't, Fred, if I'm being honest, I actually like the Chasing 3. I don't know if it's hurting the team. Like I said before, I think it's a net positive. I think it prepares these players for some of the added media that they'll experience to the next level, hopefully. What a thrill it is for the kids who aren't going to be playing at the next level, like the walk-ons that they featured, who are going to finish out their time in Nebraska and then go work at a bank or, do whatever their post-football life is. I think it's a net positive, if I'm being honest. But I do understand and appreciate your concern. Jimmy McNutty says, Greg and Minnie, do you think Ed Foley should fire himself? I believe the word they have is quit.
Jimmy McNutty. Wow. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Oh, shit.
Ed
That's
Foley.
what somebody said last week, Orson. They said private file last week.
Private file.
Wow, thanks. I didn't really need that from you, partner.
Okay. Do you realize that Ed Foley is the most hyped up Husker in all of Nebraska football? You get that guy talking about Husker football, you will not get him to shut up. He is an amazing recruiter. And I also think that, I hate to say it because we always mention it, but Jimmy McNutty, I haven't seen you in the chat since before the season started. During the entire off season, we were talking about the long snapper.
Oh gosh.
The long snapper left after last season.
What was his name again?
And so we've had Marco Ortiz. And so we've had a new long snapper.
I'm more damn pissed that I knew that. So it's like I asked the question, I'm like, Marco Ortiz, here we go. Marco Ortiz.
So yeah, I think Ed Foley is, he's like Little Red. You're not going to get rid of Little Red. So
Fred says, oh, fuck my life, 11:07. Now it's long snapper time. No, it's not long snapper time. All right. Carl says, Greg and Minnie, please give us what you think are odds of Dylan Raiola winning the Heisman for Nebraska in the next 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Any point in the next really 4 years.
I assume it's going to happen. It's a definite. Odds? It's definitely happening. Go ahead, Greg.
I guess that would be 1-to-1 odds then. I don't know if that's a big bet, like give me $10 on Dylan. All right, here you go. You won $20 or I don't know how gambling works. I clearly don't.
All right, gamble. Greg. $20. $20.
All right. Does that mean that if he does not win the Heisman in the next 4 years, then you owe me $20?
That's what that means. Write it down.
We all know that's not going to happen. You need to write it down. A lot of it is going to be determined by the players around him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Minnie. Isaiah Nayer, senior?
Senior?
No, is Isaiah Nayer a senior?
Oh.
Is Jamal Banks a senior?
They both are, yes.
Yeah, so, you've got Jalen Lloyd, Malachi Coleman, you've got Carter Nelson, Ja'Cory Barney Jr. You have weapons that he will have to throw to in the coming years. As he continues to progress, develop, and improve And that's saying something because, I mean, he's already very good. I don't know if y'all know. Look, I'm going to put all of your misconceptions, all of your hopes and dreams about me, I'm going to crush them all. Dylan Raiola is 93% likely to be a better quarterback than I am or ever was.
That's it.
Stop.
That's it?
Stop. Will you give me 7% to entertain myself?
You've had plenty. This is my birthday show. Give me more.
Okay. 98%. Okay, fine. Gosh, Dylan Raiola was, and always will be a better quarterback than me. But also, I've never played organized football. Didn't have it at my high school. I think I've said that before. Shut up.
Greg, I'm sorry that in your mind you have to compare Dylan Raiola to yourself.
I don't have to.
I would take myself out of this equation if I were you.
I'm trying to make a point here. I'm actually trying to entertain the good people.
So am I. Take yourself out of the equation.
One of us is succeeding in entertaining the good people. All right. True to form. All right, let's get back to Carl's question. Chances that Dylan Raiola wins a Heisman Trophy in the next 4 years, I would say likelihood probably greater in year 3. And then there's always that, maybe he'll win 2 Heismans. But he would, I believe 2 years from now, he'd still have Jalen Lloyd, Malachi Coleman, obviously Carter Nelson, Ja'Cory Barney Jr. This is going to be underwhelming to some. This is going to be I'm trying to be a realist for this. I said Carter Nelson.
And I mean, if we need to, if anyone gets injured, but Malachi Coleman will be ready next
I said Malachi Coleman. I said Jalen Lloyd.
Okay.
I said Ja'Cory Barney Jr.
Okay, sorry.
You're not actively listening to me, and I can tell. You just want me to shut up, so move on to the next question. I'm going to say 35%. I think that he has a greater than 1 in 3 chance of winning a Heisman Trophy.
This is why I'm not listening to you. Okay, moving on. We're at scores. Can we just end on a happy note, please?
We will. I'm sorry. Are we not allowed to address all of the comments that you have starred throughout the last 2 hours?
I didn't. Okay. Yes, let's get through them.
Thank you. By the way, I'm sorry, but greater than 1 in 3 chance is still pretty damn good for Heisman odds. So Carl also wants to know, Osborne would have had the offensive line running stadium steps after 5 sacks. Vince says it might be in the best interest, but I want Colorado to lose every game. Fair. I mean, I
agree.
It's you're I really want them to lose every game, just like I want Iowa to lose every game. But for resume building, I mean, I know this isn't like men's basketball or baseball. We're looking at anyway. If they win, it makes our win against them look better. So we already talked about Josh showing up late. Thanks, Josh. Carl says something's a dumpster fire. I don't remember what. That's out of context. Let's see. Aaron Keene says, I like the title of the thumbnail juxtaposed to where we currently are in the format. The being Purdue or Illinois behind us, Purdue road game, yada, yada. BFOTS Josh Hansen says, who would have thought a month ago that John Bullock would be having the best season on defense?
Yes, he is.
See, I try to open it up and make opportunities for you to talk, so I'm not accused of hogging the show the entire time. Fred said 34 minutes ago, says, Greg looks like he's falling asleep. Mini ASMR for the win. I don't recall looking like I was falling asleep, so I apologize. Minnie, if you feel disrespected, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I didn't catch that.
Perfect. I mean, you were the one who started the comment, so I figured you would have caught that. Orson says, y'all think Alabama's going to beat Georgia? And I'm going to say, don't care.
It's going to be a good game.
Am I supposed to care about two teams that I don't care about and who wins the outcome?
Yeah. Here's what we want,
I mean,
Greg.
I know it has SEC championship implications and college football playoff implications, but they are two teams that I just do not care about.
I don't either. Except I don't like their names always being at the top. And for some reason, Nebraska not. So yeah. Alabama, take down Georgia. That's my wish, my birthday wish.
Okay. All right. Brandon E says, score in the second half, make field goals, run the ball. That's what I want to see. Then we get, I don't really even know. Oh, Orson says, Greg, what's your favorite color? Odd question. Fred says, Greg's favorite color is salmon. He likes long walks on the beach and the sound of summer rain.
Greg.
This is becoming a very weird.
Somebody cares about you out there. Isn't that a nice feeling?
I appreciate it. Orson might be Orson and Linda Wilkins might be my two new favorites. I don't know.
I know.
Rostovsky shows up late, but better late than never. Damn, you guys still going strong. Strong may be, subjective, but we're still going. Right, Minnie?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, Minnie's like, yeah, we are, because Greg has to hit all these starred comments that I starred, and you got to hit them all. Make sure everybody gets their voice heard on the 5 Heart podcast. Brandon E., make Nebraska great again.
I agree.
I thought you might. Rostovsky doesn't do predictions.
I don't either, but you have to if you're here.
Orson wants to know when your birthday is, Minnie.
Since there's probably not very many people left, it's Monday.
Do you realize that there's 443 people watching this right now?
We've been going for 2 hours and 17 minutes.
444. It's like people found out your birthday's Monday, and they're like, tell everybody, get in here, wish her happy birthday. Let's see. And Orson's listening to me. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Steve's birthday's in 43 minutes. Did you see that?
I did.
Right here. Dang it.
What are you doing?
Doing that to me. Stop. Happy birthday, Rostovsky.
I think, or I don't know if Orson's asking you what year or Rostovsky. We're going to say Rostovsky. We're not getting into Minnie's year.
That's the follow-up question. See, I told you.
I know it, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Out of their gun. All right, let's get to our score predictions. We'll first hit up the wonderful people in the chatter fields. We have Husker Gray said, by the way, 9:49, so a solid hour and a half ago. Nebraska wins 41-13. Carl Pence says 70-3, Big Red destroys Purdue. In fact, doubles down on that about a half hour after the initial comment. Says, I agree with Minnie, 70-3 blowout. Huskers steamroll Purdue.
I love that.
James Borman has to get up early and hit the road in the morning. Huskers win 28-24 and have a good night. That was also over almost a half hour ago, so we miss you, Mr. Boardman.
Boardman, seriously, come on.
He's not here anymore to have you admonish him.
No.
He has to get up early and hit the road. Why?
I mean, a W's a W, but let's do a little better than that, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure he's coming back to watch the end of this. Oh, jeez.
All right.
By the way, you're not alone. Tiger Shark Driver says 28-24. I hope, really hope not, or we have issues.
Yes.
All right, back at it here. Brandon E says 31-13. Joe Lilakis, a.k.a. Photoshop Joe, probably not a nickname that he necessarily asked for or wanted, says Huskers 35-3. But he does create a lot of great artwork for the show.
Yes, you
like,
do.
Like
Thank you.
this piece here. So
family.
So we thank you, Joe, for your
I
contribution.
got all the Raiolas in me.
Wait, I don't. Oh God.
What? It's a song.
No, that's not. That's not the song. We're gonna have to have a conversation about that after the show. Oh God. Fred, just stop. Don't do it, Fred. Don't. I'll talk to her after the show. It's okay.
What?
Don't.
Okay. Guys.
Well, it's a post show conversation. Moving on. Fred says Nebraska 30.
That
Nope,
was
that's
the picture. Okay. Okay.
Nebraska 35. Nebraska 35, Purdue 13.
He's confused too. He's confused. Thank you. I'm not the only person.
Well,
Thank you,
we can talk about it another time. Fred says 35-13 Nebraska. We still can't score worth fucking the second half no matter what. I think that changes. Orson, our hog friend buddy, says hog fan buddy. That's what I was trying to say. Says 47-15 Nebraska. We like that. Raji's not too off. Says 41-17 Nebraska. JC says 31-10 Big Red. Jason says 45-13. I'm assuming Nebraska. Also, didn't see Braska Rascal tonight. What's up with that? Tiger Shark Diver says 49-10 Nebraska. And Highlander Gun says 2-0 Nebraska.
Really? Okay. Well, Greg, now it's time for your prediction.
Well, let's give a quick recap as to this. By the way, this chair that I'm in is just about to break. I can feel it's about to go. So big game. Jake says 31-14 Nebraska. Haas amended his what?
Okay. To clarify, I did not say Raiola's in me. I said and me. And you weirdos. Okay. Go ahead.
We're gonna go back to the tape in the post. I don't think you're gonna like what you hear. That's why I was like, I know.
Listen to the song.
It's by the way, it's We Are Family. I've got all my sisters with me.
Sisters and me.
Gregel to the rescue. Hold on. No, we're going to do this the right way.
You're not helping.
There is only one way to do this.
Jeez.
Sister Sledge.
Let's just continue.
We Are Family. I got all my sisters with me. We Are Family. Get up, everybody, and sing. I got all my sisters with me.
There's where the and came in. There's no N.
No, it's We Are Family. I got all my sisters.
Raji, not you too. Okay, can we move on?
I think we should. I tried to. Yeah.
Where were we?
Anyway, Big Game Jake says, by the way, who I think is going to maybe try to be more on the coronation overreactions with Haas and myself, says 31-14 Nebraska. Haas did amend his score prediction from preseasons. He says 41-14 Nebraska. I gave a score earlier in the week, and I am going with 38-17 Nebraska.
Okay.
What? Minnie?
You said 38-17.
I said 38-17.
And what was your score earlier?
I didn't have a score earlier. I just said 38-17.
Oh. Okay.
But I got the pen and paper ready.
I'm gonna go with, I like 38 for Nebraska. And I say 10 for Purdue.
I like it.
Write it down.
I did. I wrote down. Now, the last prediction that we have is our friend, our artificial intelligence friend, Chat GPT. When I asked who wins this weekend's college football game between Nebraska and Purdue, and Chat GPT said predicting the winner of the Nebraska versus Purdue game can be challenging as it depends on several factors, including current team performance, injuries, and game location. Yes.
Whoops. 4110, Melissa.
Works for me, Melissa. Thank you.
I like that.
If however, Nebraska has the home. No, they don't have the home field advantage. If the defense plays well and the offense can capitalize on scoring opportunities, they have a good chance of winning. On the other hand, Purdue's offense is known for its passing game, which may or may not be accurate. I don't think this artificial intelligence is very intelligent. So Nebraska's secondary will need to be on point to secure the victory. It should be a closely contested matchup. Chat GPT, you didn't say shit. I'm never using your prediction services again. So.
Okay, wonderful. I say we go with the professional Melissa, 4110. That's the official 5-heart prediction.
You can't just assign the official 5-heart prediction.
I just did. It's my birthday show.
Who do you think you are? All right. Well, thank you all for all of your predictions, all of your time, all of your talents and laughs and treasures, and everything you all do to give me that warm and fuzzy feeling on the inside. Don't know what I'd do without you. This is a welcome part of my week, a welcome part of my life, and we look forward to seeing all of you ragged motherfuckers next week. You made the adjustment. Great. Now I'm bigger on the screen. So it was apologies.
Yeah.
The other one really makes me look thinner. This one I feel. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed the show. I know I did. Minnie, did you have a good time tonight?
I did, but I have to tell you guys, all this fact checking business has got to stop. Okay?
I just want you to know, speaking of fact checking, this is a chair that is not supposed to rock. I think between this week and next week, I'm going to have to go get an actual desk chair and maybe a desk. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the 5-Heart Podcast. All of you who have joined us here tonight, all of you who have joined us week over week, we appreciate you greatly. Honestly, best version of the show. Thank you all so much. I know, hey, it's like they say in that one last episode of Ted Lasso, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Sorry, Orson. I'm going to have to go. Until next time. You know what? Before I go, I'm going to do this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Aaron, today, soon, and Minnie in a few days. Happy birthday to you.
Hey.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
You all are great. We appreciate you all. Can't wait to see you all again next week after a Nebraska dub. And until then, remember that 5-Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Go big red.
That's that whisper yell she was talking about earlier. Like it's 9:30 there. I don't think they have anybody sleeping at your house right now. You could probably actually just say it in your normal voice.
Yeah, but I don't yell. Unless I'm in Memorial Stadium.
So you've yelled at
then
me
I yell.
before. You've yelled at me before. Until next time, everybody.